Hey everybody, it's John from Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. I'm here with an updated feature demo of the Kemper player with the level 2 and level 3 paid upgrades. I'll tell you everything you need to know. If you're in the market for a Kemper player, you can click to buy new gear using our link. We have fast free shipping, easy payment plans that makes getting yourself a Kemper super easy, so check that out. Another thing, I have a new song coming out and we have a Kemper player giveaway to announce. So hit subscribe if you have not, you'll have to be subscribed. But without further ado, let me walk you through what I'm gonna cover in this video. This is gonna be a look at the paid upgrades, level 2 and level 3. I'm gonna focus on the main headline features that they've pointed out here. In level 2, you have all of the famous Kemper FX types, so we'll talk about what that means. Morphing has been introduced at level 2, output EQs, the rig crossfade timing, and the beat scanner, which is very cool. Level 3 is the additional paid upgrade, either separately or done as a bundle. I did the bundle for $299. It's going to introduce parallel paths, which was a bass feature actually, but you can use it for guitar too. It's going to have the full 8 effects blocks, and that is the biggest deal. It's got all the modules, so it's truly one for one with the big Kempers, and I love that. It's got a looper, and it's got 125 banks, so expanded number of banks, 5 rigs each, total 625 rigs can be stored in the player. Let's talk about each one of these now. From the Kemper player, I'm going straight out of an XLR into my Apollo X4 interface, and then I'm recording that signal in Logic. So I'll just give you a little guitar here so you can hear. Let's go ahead and open up Rig Manager because that's where everything's going to happen. I'm going to walk you through each one of those headline points like I talked about, starting with all the Kemper effects. So I've dialed in, I've got a Michael Britt 72 Marshall profile here. Right now I have a green screen on, but I'll actually just turn that off, and you'll actually hear that this profile is quite clean. Sounds glorious. I actually think one of the tricks to profiling and getting a great tone is actually use a clean profile and then add dirt on top of it. Don't go with a slammed profile out of the gate, although those exist too and those have their uses. I like to sort my profiles generally by gain. That to me is the most instructive thing. So actually even now you can see that I've built in banks 30 through about 35, which are now expanded capabilities. I have everything organized by gain. And so that actually is really helpful. So I just played you one of the cleanest profiles. Here is here's a higher gain profile just for comparison. That's actually pretty awesome. But you can see how I've organized it that way. And before I digress too much and get lost in the actual playing, let's bring it back. I built this video demo to highlight the capabilities now of the player after these upgrades, okay? So I've got that one queued up, again, totally clean. All right, 72 Marshall. And let's talk first about all the Kemper effects. So I've added here a few things. I've got in the effect slots, and more importantly, we have 8 modules now. So just like the Big Brother Kemper, I've got a module A, B, C, D, X, modulation, delay, and reverb. That's the same way that they would appear like on a toaster or a rack mounted. But there's 8 of them total. That's how they label them on a Kemper. I put a harmonic pitch shift. This is a cool feature here, which is fun to play with. Pretty funky and fun. And I'm actually triggering everything right now with the mouse, which is cool. I have a basic compressor on. And then in terms of my gain stage ahead of the stack, this is the beauty. Now with 4 slots, I got room for not only that harmonic pitch, which I use every now and then for fun, and a compressor, but now my traditional gain staging ahead of the stack, I've got basically your green scream and then a Kemper fuzz. And right-clicking on any of these, I mean, here's an idea of all the effects that are available. Everything from wah distortion booster on up to phaser, flanger, pitch shifter, delays. Just like the Kemper Big Brothers, it's all in there. But I'll give you an idea. We'll go ahead and throw on this green scream, which is like a tube screamer. I got a Kemper fuzz. Okay, so that's all cool. If we can put them both on together. Rock and roll. There's my gain staging. And then I have the amp and the cab in the middle there, and now 4 slots after, right? So I mean, now we have, I've got a chorus I can throw on, which is really nice. I've got a phaser vibe thing here going. You see that's really nice too. And here's the beauty of it too. Now that you can basically interface your normal profiles from your Big Brother Kemper into the player, it really is as simple as going into your local library and picking one. It is a little clunky. You have to move one at a time into Store Rig in Profiler down here. But once you kind of go through and assign which slots you want that in, I built this kind of little library, like I said, within my Kemper player here. And this demo one that I'm working with, the other nice thing is the assignment of your actual buttons, your foot pedal button 1, 2, and 3, has gotten a lot easier now that it's more traditional in terms of the same number of modules. So for example, I can click on System, and you can see now I have, for this particular one, foot switch 2 is effects 1, foot switch 3 is effects 2, and then within this actual rig window is where you have to go in and assign what you want to be effects 1 and effects 2. That's a step that's easy to miss, and it's actually kind of confusing in your setup. But once you get that straight, you can choose for those buttons effects 1 and 2 which modules you want to trigger. I've scheduled module C, which is my green screen, and module D, which is my fuzz, so that on my buttons, I can just go ahead and quickly gain stage things up. Here's. Okay, so that's all cool. Back to clean. All right, that all sounds great. And again, assigning things has gotten easier now that you have the proper number of modules and that there's no, you don't need to make it different going from the rack mount now to the player. It's just all there and you can assign whatever you want, which is really nice. Especially because I like to use the player for recording and just have this whole palette of tones arranged by gain here so that I can find just the sound I need for a particular song or setting. And then live, I kind of have my go-to. Like I said, I have a 67, this one right here. Lux Verb is the one that I use actually for play and trade most of the time, and a similar one when I play live, and I just love it. It works for me. And let's talk about morphing. So they've added morphing at level 2. With morphing, you can actually sit here at the computer, and this is really cool. Here's clean. Now you can use an expression pedal to do this, but I'll show you with the mouse. And the parameters of that, I've kept it simple. I've just basically turned up the gain of the particular rig so that when you morph, and I have an expression pedal here, so watch this. So you can go from like a drastically clean to a drastically beefed up. I mean, just imagine, you know, really pushing that gain, having a slamming lead tone with, you can make the reverb and delays insane, however you want to do that. But I mean, it's really what it sounds like. It morphs. So you can see like from the red, which is your normal, as I slide this up, the main parameter there I adjusted is just the gain of that particular rig, but you can go crazy and make that however you want. Now that that's incorporated in the player, that was a key feature which was missing before, so that's really important. Output EQs, this is another important thing. So if we go to output here in Rig Manager, you can see that main output and monitor out now has bass, middle, treble, presence, along with a low cut, high cut, and for monitor as well, so that's important. It also shows up in the iPhone app, which is really helpful too. Another global system setting which is new, this rig crossfade time. So what's really nice is when you change rigs, I will remind you that the player does not have performance mode, so you cannot cycle performances, but you can cycle rigs. And what's nice is when you change a rig, rather than just an absolute drop off in tone, which would sound super unnatural, it actually naturally will do a crossfade, and you can choose the time of how long you want that crossfade. You can also do a rig button morph. I will tell you, I have not, as of yet, had any luck in pushing the rig button again and getting this to morph. I think that that's actually technically a bug. I'm triggering the morph currently with an expression pedal that I'm just tapping on, so one more time. So that's how I'm triggering the morph, is with an expression pedal. I can't get it to work yet with the rig button, but supposedly that's in there. Beat scanner is a cool feature too, so if you're playing along a riff, and you have a delay on, or some kind of modulation that should be time-based, the nice thing is you could hold down your tap tempo. I've got tap tempo on the board, it's usually at my foot. But by holding that down, it'll actually listen to the timing of your riff and follow appropriately with the delay or the time-based effect, which is really nice for Beat Scanner. But you'll notice that everything I talked about here is really dependent on the most important upgrade in my opinion, which is the ability to have the 8 effects blocks or modules. And that doesn't come to level 3. So a lot of what I was just showing you is going to be dependent on having the level 3 upgrade. Level 3 introduces, here's their headlines again, parallel paths. You can drop a comment if you know how to do that. I have not figured out how to do that, but what parallel path does is take only module A and B and then sends a direct signal after module A and B straight to the output, bypassing the stack and all the rest. It creates a parallel path between your traditional stack and effects, plus a more direct tone. This is traditionally used with bass playing, but you can use it with a guitar. I just can't figure out how to trigger it. I went to the output menu, and I'm not seeing it in output menu, so if you know how to do that, let me know so that we can let everybody else know too. But the biggest headline here, like I said, 8 effects blocks, 8 modules, and that's modules A, B, C, D, X, modulation, delay, and reverb. All 8, just like the Big Brother. That's the most important upgrade. That's why I upgraded. I wanted that more than anything else, and that has made my life so much easier, okay? There is a looper. To work the looper, you can actually assign one of the 3 buttons to start and then one to stop the looper. It is a little annoying. I can't tell if you can do it in one button, but it appears you need 2 buttons, one to start the recording and one to stop. Why that's the case, I have no idea, but that'd be another thing I'd like to investigate. You can see here in the system though, that for instance, I could have a foot switch 2, I could have be the looper start record, and then foot switch 3, I could have be looper stop. Another thing here is, like I said, the tap beat scanner. I can enable this to be tap if I hold, and then beat scanner if I hold, or tap and then if I hold tap the tuner. If you want to use the beat scanner feature, you need to have that one selected. And actually, we can try that out here. Let's dial that in and see how that works here. So I currently have tap tuner, but if I do tap beat scanner, and I'll do an open note thing here. Hear the delay tail. So it's matching that delay based on that time. But really the main headline is just having all 8 blocks here, having everything ready to go, and just a lot of fun tones out of this. I'll cycle through a few just so you can hear kind of what I put together. Here's a Vox AC30. This is a great sounding one. We can go super crazy. If we want to go that hard, here's a Blues Junior. Love that little Blues Junior. All right, so drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of the paid upgrades. I upgraded the whole kit and caboodle here. I'm so far happy with it. I can tell you, you'd be plenty fine to have the Kemper player without the paid upgrades. I just wanted to have the functionality, particularly the main thing I wanted was having all the blocks. So that was the most important to me. I can tell you, I adore Kemper. It works awesome for front of house live situations and then also recordings. I told you that we'll be announcing a Kemper player giveaway. So make sure you're subscribed. The sign up link will be available for that next week. Depending on when you watch this. And if it's available now, you'll find it down below. I've got this new song coming out, Through the Nighttime. It's kicking off an album that I'll be introducing over the course of the next year, but it's got some amazing recorded guitar tones, plenty of Kemper in there. So check that out, see what you think. Hit subscribe now, be in it to win it. We will be giving away a Kemper player. We'll announce that in the next week, and you'll find all those links below, including our current guitar giveaways. So we are building this community of guitar players and traders. If you're in the market for any gear, click to buy gear using our link. You'll find everything you need to know down below. Talk to you in the comments. See you next time. For Play and Trade Guitars, I'm John. See you next time.